Picture this. You're standing at the edge of a cliff, not a literal one, don't worry, but a moment where everything you want is on the other side, and all that's stopping you is a single step. Your stomach's in knots, your mind's racing with what-ifs. What if I fall? What if I fail? What if everyone sees me crash and burn? Now here's the kicker. What if I told you that fear isn't a warning sign, it's a trick? A trick keeping you from the life you could have? Stay with me, because in the next 20 minutes, I'm going to walk you through a step-by-step plan to kick that fear of failure to the curb and step into your power. This is how to overcome fear of failure. And trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming. Let's do this together. Hey, thanks for being here. I mean it. Whether you're watching because you're terrified to pitch that idea at work, start that side hustle, or even ask someone out, this video's for you. Fear of failure hits us all, and today we're tackling it head on. Here's the game plan. We'll start indoors, right here, unpacking what this fear really is and why it's got such a grip on us. Then I'll give you 3 practical strategies, stuff you can start using today to flip that fear into fuel. About halfway through, we're heading outside. Think fresh air, real-world vibes, because I want you to see this in action, not just hear about it. Oh, and there's a midpoint twist, a little challenge I'm taking on live to keep you hooked and prove this works. By the end, you'll have a mindset shift, some tools in your pocket, and maybe even a spark to try something bold. Ready? Let's jump in. Part 1. Understanding fear of failure. So what's fear of failure anyway? It's that gut punch you feel when you think about screwing up. It's not just about the mistake, it's the story you tell yourself afterward. If I fail, I'm a fraud. If I flop, everyone will know I don't belong. It's personal, it's raw, and it's sneaky. Let me paint you a picture from my own life. A couple years ago, I had this dream of starting a blog. I'd always loved writing, scribbling ideas in notebooks, dreaming up posts that could inspire people. I even bought a domain name. Fancy, right? But every time I sat down to write that first post, I'd freeze. My brain went wild. What if it's garbage? What if my friends read it and laugh behind my back? What if I pour my heart out and get like 3 views? That fear of failing, of being exposed as not good enough, kept me stuck for almost a year. I'd open my laptop, stare at a blank screen and close it again. Ring any bells? Maybe you've got your own blank screen, a project, a goal, something you're dying to try but can't start. Here's the deal, you're not weird for feeling this. Fear of failure is practically wired into us. Psychologists say it's tied to our survival instincts. Back in the day, messing up could mean getting kicked out of the tribe. Today, it's less about saber-toothed tigers and more about social media likes, but the feeling's the same. Studies show over 70% of people, 7 out of 10, have dodged something big because they were scared to fail. That's most of us. But here's the secret that fear doesn't want you to know. It's not a stop sign, it's a speed bump, and we're about to roll right over it with 3 steps that'll change the game. Part 2, 3 strategies to overcome fear of failure. Strategy 1. Reframe failure as feedback. Step 1. Stop treating failure like it's a death sentence. It's not. It's feedback. Data you can use to get better. Think about a kid learning to ride a bike. They fall, they wobble, they cry a little. Okay, maybe a lot. But each tumble teaches them balance. Failure's the same for us grown-ups. Take my blog debacle. When I finally posted something, after months of stalling, it was clunky. The formatting was off, the intro was too long, and I got maybe 10 readers. Did I curl up and quit? Nope. I saw it as a lesson. Shorten the intro, fix the layout, try again. Next post, double the views. Failure wasn't the end, it was the start. Here's your homework. Next time you're scared to fail, grab a pen or your phone, whatever, and write down 2 questions. What's the worst that could happen? And what could I learn if it goes sideways? Be honest. Maybe the worst is you bomb a presentation, and the lesson is you need to rehearse more. That's not failure, that's a roadmap. Try it this week. Tell me in the comments how it goes. I'm rooting for you. Strategy 2. Start small and build momentum. Step 2. Don't try to leap the Grand Canyon in one jump. Start small, tiny even, and let the wins pile up. Fear loves to whisper, if you can't nail this perfectly, don't bother. That's nonsense. Small steps kill that lie dead. Back to my blog. I didn't launch with a 20-post series or a viral masterpiece. I wrote 1 post. 1. It took me 2 hours, it was rough, but I hit publish. That little spark of I did it lit a fire. Next week, 2 posts, then 3. Momentum's magic. It turns fear into what's next. So what's your small step? Maybe it's sketching 1 doodle if you're scared to draw, texting a friend about your business idea, or running for 5 minutes instead of a marathon. Pick 1 thing right now while you're watching. Pause this if you need to, but decide. I want to hear it in the comments. What's your 1 post moment? Because once you start, you won't stop. Strategy 3. Surround yourself with the right people. Step 3. Build your hype squad. Fear of failure gets loud when you're surrounded by doubters, people who say, why bother? Or, that's a long shot. I had a co-worker who'd smirk and go, blogging? Good luck with that. Gee, thanks. But then I found my people, friends who read my drafts, gave me pointers, said, keep going, this is good. That support was like rocket fuel. Suddenly, failure didn't feel so scary. I had a net. Take a hard look at your circle. Who's in your corner? Who's rolling their eyes? You need cheerleaders, not critics. Maybe it's a friend, a mentor, even an online group. Find them, tell them what you're chasing, and let them lift you up. They're your shield against fear's worst hits. All right, time to shake things up. We're outside now because overcoming fear isn't just a head game, it's a life game. You've got the 3 steps. Reframe failure as feedback, start small, surround yourself with support. But here's the twist I promised, the hook to keep you with me. In a few minutes, I'm going to face a fear of mine right here on camera. No scripts, no safety net, just me, you, and a little courage. It's not jumping off a bridge or anything wild, but it's real and it's messy. Why? To show you these steps work and maybe nudge you to try them too. But first, let's see how this plays out in the wild. Imagine you're here, away from desks and screens, chasing something you're scared to fail at. Let's say it's public speaking. You want to give a talk, but you're petrified you'll freeze or sound dumb. Step 1, reframe it. If you stumble, it's not a disaster, it's a cue to practice pacing. Step 2, start small. Don't book a TED Talk, read a paragraph to your dog. Step 3, find your crew. Tell a friend, hey, I'm nervous, but I'm trying this. Cheer me on. See? These steps aren't abstract, they're alive out here. Demonstration, putting it into action. Here's my moment, my fear. Speaking loudly in public, like projecting my voice where strangers can hear. I've always been quiet, worried I'd sound awkward or draw stares, but today I'm using this megaphone to say something. Right now, here goes. Hi everyone out here, I'm scared to do this, but I'm doing it anyway, because fear doesn't get to win. Okay, wow, my heart's racing. A guy over there definitely looked at me like I'm nuts, but I did it. Step 1, if it sounded shaky, that's feedback. I need to practice. Step 2, small start, just one shout, not a speech. Step 3, you're my squad right now watching this. How'd I do? Drop a "you got this" in the comments and tell me what you'd shout if you had this megaphone. That's the hook. Facing fear is messy, but it's doable. Stick with me, we're not done yet. People who have reached the top of their fields, who have changed the world with their talents, these people all failed at one point, but they embraced their failure as part of their journey and they kept going. Don't believe me? Oprah was fired from one of her first TV jobs. Yes, someone out there sacked Oprah for not being up to the job. Needless to say, she didn't let that stop her. J.K. Rowling might be one of the world's more successful authors now, and one of the richest women, but that first Harry Potter manuscript was rejected 12 times before she finally got a publisher to accept it. 12 times she heard no at a time where her life was at a low ebb as a single mum on benefits. She didn't let the fear of rejection stop her from trying again and again until she made it happen. Can you imagine a world without Harry Potter? That's what we would have if she had let failure stop her. Charles Darwin was told he was a fool for his theory of evolution. His dad called him lazy and too much of a dreamer. His own college called his theory of evolution a foolish pursuit. Fearing failure is a natural defense mechanism that tries to take control whenever we venture out our comfort zone, and it's okay to take fear along with us on our journey. Fear doesn't disappear, it just shrinks when you keep showing up. Third, revisit your why. Why do you want this? For me, it's inspiring people like you. That why pulls you through the tough days. Truth is, fear of failure won't vanish overnight. I still get butterflies before every video, every post, but it doesn't own me anymore, and it doesn't have to own you. That cliff I mentioned, you're ready to step off now. You might stumble, you might soar, but you'll move. And that's everything. That's a wrap, friends. You're stronger than you think. I want to hear, what's your cliff? What's one step you're taking today? Leave it below. And if this sparked something, share it with someone who needs it. Thanks for joining me. If this video helps you, encourage us by subscribing to the channel to support us for more content like this. Thank you.